What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. We are back with a This Week in Destiny, looking ahead to everything that you can expect from the week ahead. So if you want to find out more about the legendary Astral alignment, the Nightfall and the Nightfall exclusive weapons, the introduction of freelance trials and bonus trials ranks, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 70% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny. Before we jump into the meat of today's video, we have a very exciting announcement right here on the channel. Now this announcement comes in the form of a brand new partner, and this is Apex Gaming PCs. Now Apex Gaming PCs have everything that you could think of when it comes to customizing and building your own PC. Now building your own PC isn't for everyone, and Apex Gaming PCs allows you to have a plug and play option, picking all the parts that you need and professionally building the PC for you. Now I've been working alongside them for the last few months, and we've just launched our own range of Apex Gaming PCs. Now these three models have various entry points depending on your budget, and you can further customize them to make sure they're exactly what you want. Now alongside these amazing computers, we also have an exclusive discount code for us right here on the channel. So if you use the code Jarv at checkout at Apex Gaming PCs, this will save you an additional 5% on your purchase. This can be up to $250 depending on your build, and will help your money stretch that bit further when picking the parts for your perfect build. All in all, I think they're a great partner for us right here on the channel, so be sure to check them out if you're in the market for a brand new gaming PC. Now jumping back into Destiny for this week, we have the continuation of the Festival of the Lost. We are in week 2 out of 3 for this particular event, so if you're still chasing down those spectral pages, Bungie has unfortunately restricted the amount of pages earned through Rapon hunts, so if you're still looking for the most efficient way to earn those, make sure to run public events and double dip on those as and when possible. Now as for the main story beats for Season of the Lost, we actually have a brand new Astral alignment difficulty launching this week. This comes in the form of a legendary difficulty. Now Bungie did go on to say that Astral alignment will be a little bit more spicy than we've seen up until now, and the recommended power level for this activity will be 1320. There's going to be some additional modifiers each day to keep things fresh, and loadouts will be locked, so we'll need to pick our weapons wisely before jumping in. And unlike any of the seasonal activities we've had up until now, if you fail to complete or wipe as a team, this will send you back to orbit. So you most definitely will want to get those fire teams together to get that done upon this week's weekly reset. Now Bungie did go into detail on some of the modifiers, and they'll have weekly rotating modifiers as well as daily ones. We'll have weekly rotators of Denial, Epitaph and Empath, alongside constant modifiers which are Overload and Unstoppable Champions, locked loadouts, alongside match game as well. All in all, it should make for a more challenging activity, which will also grant an additional chest upon completion. Now next up, we have Freelance being introduced to Trials of Osiris. Now Trials has had a massive rework this season. There's more loot, more reasons to play, and whilst there's been strong community feedback specifically around matchmaking, Freelance has been one of the most requested features when it comes to Trials of Osiris. Now how this will work in a 3v3 game mode over the long term is still to be seen, but when Iron Banner's around, Freelance is a very popular choice. So if you like to run solo and get fed up of matching those 3 stacks over and over again, then jumping into the Freelance playlist may be your best option. And to go alongside the Freelance playlist is also boosts to Trials ranks throughout the entire weekend. So if you want to earn those sweet weapon rewards from Saint 14 over in the tower, then make sure to jump into Trials this week and give the Freelance playlist a try to earn those bonus ranks. Now moving on to the weekly activities, we have a brand new raid challenge for week 9 of Season of the Lost. This comes in the form of the Strangers in Time challenge, which is the Gatekeeper challenge inside the Vault of Glass. Now to complete this challenge, you need to kill the Wyvern and Praetorians at roughly the same time. Now you roughly have a 5-second window to defeat these targets, and if you're able to do so and successfully complete this challenge, you'll earn yourself an extra chest, and if you can do this on the Master difficulty, this will grant you access to the Time Lost weapon. Now the Time Lost weapon for this week is the Hazen Vengeance rocket launcher. Now this is one of the strongest rocket launchers currently inside Destiny 2, and as with all Time Lost weapons, they have secondary perks in the 3rd and 4th column, basically guaranteeing that god roll each and every time. So if you haven't got the god roll on the Hazen Vengeance, be sure to jump into the Vault of Glass this week to get that challenge done. And if it's high stat armor you're seeking and not god roll weapons, then the high stat armor focus for this week will be Discipline. So be sure to don those Warlocks when jumping into the Vault of Glass to earn those high Discipline roll stats on your armor. Now, as for the Nightfall this week, this will rotate around to Exodus Crash. Now, Exodus Crash was removed from Destiny 2 for a rework and has since been added back to the game, and it returns now as a Nightfall and therefore a Grandmaster Nightfall in Season of the Lost. It's far from one of the most popular strikes in the playlist. However, with that being said, it will still grant you access to 2 adept weapons. Now, the first of those is brand new this season, and that comes in the form of the Comedian Shotgun. Now, up until now, it's really hard to find a good roll on this weapon, but it can roll with things like Subsistence and Adrenaline Junkie. Now, Adrenaline Junkie is getting a rework in the December update as part of the 30th anniversary pack, so be sure to keep hold of those rolls if you get any drop in this week's Nightfall. And alongside the Comedian, we also have the Shadow Price Auto Rifle. Now, this is one of the strongest 450 RPM autos in the game, and is fantastic for Grandmaster Nightfalls too. If you can get a roll like this with Overflow and Disruption Break, then it'll be perfect for breaking those barrier champion shields. Now, moving over to Europa for this week, the Eclipse Zone can be found over in the Eventide Ruins. So once again, if you're still working on the augments way back from Beyond Light, then be sure to head over there to find your target. Now, as to the Empire Hunt for this week, this will be the Dark Priestess. This is one of my favourite ones out of the entire rotation, and is a great source of pinnacle loot. So if you're still chasing down that 1330 power cap for this season, be sure to jump into the Empire Hunt to get that challenge done. Now, as for the Exo challenge, this will be Simulation Survival. Once again, one of the easier ones in the rotation, and as long as you've fully upgraded Varrix's Sabotage missions over on Europa 2, it's also a great source for pinnacle loot. Now, this brings us nicely onto the penultimate week when it comes to seasonal challenges, and in week 9 of Season of the Lost, we have 6 brand new seasonal challenges to complete. Now, the first of those is called Astral Assault, so you need to defeat combatants with auto rifles and melee attacks, and defeating combatants in the Astral Alignment activity will grant you bonus progress. This is alongside Legendary Ley Liner, and here you need to complete the Astral Alignment activity on the Legendary difficulty. Now, both of those seasonal challenges also offer Wayfinder's Compass calibration level, so if you are still upgrading your Wayfinder's Compass and need some additional mods, perks and upgrades, then be sure to get those seasonal challenges done. The next seasonal challenge for this week is called Trial by Fire Squad, and you need to win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. There are 20 rounds to win in total, and by completing this challenge, this will grant you access to a Trials of Osiris weapon. This is followed up by Elemental Gambit, and you need to complete Gambit matches with each elemental subclass. Now, the tooltip for this seasonal challenge only shows Arc, Void and Solar or Stasis, so as a result will require just 6 games in Gambit to complete. Next up, we have Armory-wide Calibration, and here you need to calibrate kinetic, energy and power weapons, with bonus progress being granted against champions. And the final challenge for this week is called Elemental Splicing, and you need to complete strikes with each elemental subclass. Now, much like the Gambit requirements, you once again have Arc, Void, Solar or Stasis, and will need to complete 6 strikes to get this done. Now, by completing this challenge, not only will you get XP and Bright Dust, you'll also get access to the plated Lupinous shader. This is a brand new shader exclusive for this season, so be sure to get this challenge done to get your hands on it. Now, with all the seasonal challenges out the way, it brings us on to the most important part of the week, and that's what Tess has available for Bright Dust in week 2 of Festival of the Lost. Now, the first item in the main featured Bright Dust section is the Shaded Titan Mask. This is a brand new mask that was introduced in this year's event. So if you didn't pick it up for silver already, you can pick it up for Bright Dust instead, and it will cost you 1200 Bright Dust. Next up, we have the Scatter Scare Exotic Sparrow. Once again, a brand new one introduced this season. This is probably one of the best looking sparrows they've added in a Festival of the Lost event ever. Obviously, if you're not a fan of spiders, then this one is a hard pass. But if you didn't buy it last week for silver, this will set you back 2500 Bright Dust this time around. Now, next up, we have the Talon Projection, a new ghost projection for this year's event, and this will set you back 1500 Bright Dust. Alongside this, we have Reanimated Verve, a new shader for this year's event as well. So if you want to add this to your collection, this will set you back 300 Bright Dust. Now, over in the main Bright Dust store, we have the Gourd Summoner, a brand new one introduced this season as well. Now, if you pick this up in week 1 of this event, this will set you back 1000 in silver. However, this week, this will set you back 3,250 in Bright Dust instead. Now, alongside the Gourd Summoner, we also have its Showtime. This is a rare emote, once again a brand new one for this year's event. Now, you can pick this up in the store for silver. It will cost you 200 silver, or you can purchase it this week for Bright Dust, and it will set you back 400 Bright Dust this time around. Now, alongside those 2 emotes, we have the Stonecraft's Exotic Ghost Shell. Now, this Ghost Shell is from a previous event, so if you missed out on it and want to add it to your collection, this will set you back 2,850 Bright Dust. Alongside that, we have the Necro Beast. Now this sparrow is from a previous Festival of the Lost event as well, so if you fancy riding around with an Amankara skull on the hood of your bonnet, then be sure to pick up this sparrow and it'll set you back 2,500 in Bright Dust. And alongside this, we have the Desmodus. This is an exotic ship that was introduced once again from a previous event, so if you want to add this to your collection, this will set you back 2,000 in Bright Dust. Alongside this, we have the Jack-O-Lantern mask. So once again, if you're still collecting all the masks, even those from previous events, you can add this one to your collection instead of buying it for silver, and it will set you back 1,200 in Bright Dust. And the final item on offer is the Howling Projection. So if you missed out on this projection from last year's event, you can pick it up and it will set you back 1,500 in Bright Dust. So there we have it, guys, a good look at everything that you can expect for week 9 in Season of the Lost. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.